This is one of the cleanest trades I've taken this month, but I almost exited too early. So let me show you what happened. Alright, so the trade was on Euro AUD, as you can see right here, right? So this right here was the trade. So I'll do a trade recap to show you how I was able to catch this trade right here, right? So this right here is the daily time frame. If you go over to the left, you will notice that this area we had multiple rejections, and anytime we came to that rejection, to that area, we tend to sell very strongly. Anytime we came to that area, we tend to sell very strongly, and this has happened time and time again, right? So that was one information. We had a very strong area that could be respected by price. Secondly, the market structure on the daily was actually bullish because this right here was the higher high and this right here was the higher low. But price has pretty much been buying for the past 8 days straight, right? And then we started having multiple days of slowdown. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of slowdown. That shows me that this area on the daily time frame is a very strong area and is being respected by current price action right now, right? So that was one information I had. And we are also we rejected this EME about 4 times already on the daily time frame. So we had a very strong daily area of interest. Coming over to the 4-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame was very strongly bearish, but once it came back to area of interest, it started shifting structure bearish. Now, this got me very intrigued, and I realized that this market might actually give a very big opportunity, and that's why I posted this right here on the Telegram. As you can see, this was the trade Euro AUD possible counter trend trade setup. As you can see right here, let me drag it. Possible counter trend trade setup, but could have a very high returns. I am waiting for both break and retest on this market and volume, by the way, to sell, right? So that was when I was interested in this market right here. So I'm going to do a trade. I'll replay this market to show you guys what my thought process was before entering the market, right? So coming over to the 1-hour time frame, which is actually my entry time frame, this was what I was looking for. I noticed that the market was actually strongly bullish, right? And it started slowing down, very indecisive around here, and it started breaking structure to the downside. I was very, very intrigued in entering this market. So I just needed a very clean place to enter, right? I don't need price to still be above area. It might actually start pushing up to the upside, right? I need it to be below area for me to sell or catch a selling trade, right? Because anytime we are below the area, we are going to be selling to the downside. So that's why I was waiting for a break retest, as you can see right here. That's why I was waiting for a break retest and an engulfing for me to sell. So as soon as I got the break right here, I entered the trade right here. So technically, I'm supposed to be putting my stop loss around this level. This is the high of this market, right? I'm supposed to be putting my stop loss around this level, but I thought that might not actually be a very good spot to put my stop loss. So I drew another area right here, right? I drew another area right here because at this area we rejected multiple times, right? So that is a little bit more safer to put my stop loss above that area right there. It's a little bit more safer for me to put my stop loss above this area right here instead of just above this high, right? So then I decided to hold this trade. And immediately we entered into very much in profit. So you see this profit right here. This profit right here was what made Alex G make about $400,000 in 1 week. You see this move right here. This particular move was the $400,000 trade on Euro AUD this last week, right? But for me, I have not gotten to 1:2 risk reward ratio yet, so I have to continue holding. So this is how it played out. So as soon as LIG exited the trade, guess what? We started going back to, pretty much my break even. I continued to hold this trade, right? As you can see, I kept on holding the trade. Market structure was pretty much bearish, pretty much bullish. It was still moving. Jeez. At this high point right here, I was actually pretty much considering if I want to close the trade or not, right? But then I remember my rules. My rule says that I should wait for stop loss to get hit or take profit to get hit. So I continue holding the trade. So what it is, I'm not going to lock and that was how I caught this trade right here. So pretty much when I entered the trade, we went into profit very strongly, and then most traders I know exited around that. Most traders I know exited around that level, but price has not given me the 1:2 I was looking for, right? Even Alex G has exited his own trade and every other person. And after holding this trade for about 5 days, price actually went in the red. He actually went to drawdown. I'll show you a screenshot of when it was in drawdown. But again, I told you guys I'll continue holding this trade. Again, I kept on updating you guys about the trade right here. When I got in, I told you guys I am in. I told you guys I'll continue to sell and forget. As soon as price went into drawdown, I'll continue to hold the trade. And this was the final result on this trade right here. This trade took a lot of patience to be able to hold. I actually held this trade for about, if you look right here, you can see that I held this trade for about 8 days and 7 hours, right? I held this trade for about 8 days and 7 hours. I actually held this trade over the weekend too as well, right? Most traders who took this trade actually exited early. They had a tighter stop loss too, but I did not have a tight stop loss. I kept my stop loss above this level because we had multiple rejections from this level, and if price get there, I'll be totally wrong on this market, right? So that was how I caught this trade right here. That's how I was able to catch pretty much almost a 1:3 risk reward ratio trade this last week. So next week I'll be breaking down all these pairs again, and I'll give you guys the best opportunity I'm looking to see in the new week, right? So that's pretty much it, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.